Coming up on Mountain News at 6, a group of community members create a long-term recovery group to help folks rebuild after the flooding. And one elementary school is back in session in Letcher County. We'll have more on the obstacles students and staff at Burdine Elementary School had to overcome.
Plus, much warmer weather is on the way as we head through the next couple of days, but pumpkin spice weather not far away. The latest next as Mountain News at 6 starts now.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 6.
With many Eastern Kentuckians still waiting on home or roadway repairs following the historic flooding, several Breathitt Countyans are stepping up to help those who need assistance. WYMT's Alyssa Williams has more on the long-term recovery team and their work to help those impacted by the flood.
For Breathitt County and Carol Swartzentruber, July's flood washed away the main bridge leading to her home.
When we came home, I wasn't sure if we were going to be able to, if they were going to be able to bring me to the house.
But thanks to the Breathitt County Long-Term Recovery Team, Swartzentruber and others who live along Turner's Creek in Breathitt County are receiving the repairs they need.
There's so much need. People throughout the state that are just really hurting, have lost everything, and so if someone can come in and give some help, that's wonderful.
The organization was founded by a handful of community members after the March 2021 flood, but members are continuing their mission following the recent flood by mucking out houses, cleaning debris, and making structural repairs.
It's gratifying and yet it's sad in the same respect that we're in this situation again. And of course in Breathitt County we were in a somewhat similar situation just a year ago when we just basically got done getting people back into their homes, and now most of those people have been flooded again.
Susan Harley with the recovery team says this work offers a helping hand to an overwhelmed county government.
It's too much for your local government, and the money your local government has is mostly earmarked already.
Harley adds, although the organization is based in Breathitt County, they hope to help other Eastern Kentuckians who are in need of their assistance.
I mean, I hope that not even just Breathitt County, but as a region throughout Eastern Kentucky, we can all work together to help each other to come out stronger at the end.
In Breathitt County, Alyssa Williams, WYMT Mountain News.
If you're interested in learning more about the Breathitt County Long-Term Recovery Team, they'll be having a meeting this Monday at 5:30 at the Breathitt County Senior Center. FEMA officials say they have called, texted, sent letters, emails, and even sent specialized teams door to door in an effort to reach some flood survivors. But they say they've been unable to reach nearly 800 homeowners and almost 1,000 renters. FEMA says because they've not been able to reach these folks, they will not receive any assistance. Officials say homeowners and renters who have not heard anything after applying for assistance should reach out to FEMA by calling 800-621-3362, or you can visit a disaster recovery center nearest you. AARP Kentucky is stepping in to help with flood relief efforts, bringing several checks to the mountains today, leaving more than $45,000 in Prestonsburg. WYMT's Buddy Forbes has more about the money and its mission.
Putting their money where the need is.
I know they're going to take the funding and use it in a great way to help seniors, or they wouldn't be getting it.
Presenting 4 checks to organizations working to provide assistance in the regional flood relief effort.
Sometimes what happens in a disaster like this, sometimes folks end up getting taken advantage of.
With the funds aimed at projects that could benefit the most vulnerable.
This is where our emphasis needed to be with over the age of 50.
With $10,000 going to the Big Sandy Area Development District.
But we are trying to identify people right now, especially our clients that has lost a house. We had one that lost a car.
$15,000 to God's Pantry Food Bank as it works to feed families in need.
Canned foods where you could just pop them open because you didn't have a stove or whatever, or a house to fix them in. So we really started going for that food. And this money will really help.
$10,000 to Apple Red Legal Aid, stepping in to serve as a resource for those who may not otherwise know how to move forward with disaster claims.
That is a godsend to get this kind of additional funding to support the disaster work, to support that staff that we've had to divert into disaster work.
And another $10,000 to the Kentucky River Area Development District, with representatives saying it is all part of the mission.
So much more than just the discounts for hotels and restaurants. We want to make a difference in seniors' lives across the Commonwealth.
To empower those in need. In Floyd County, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
Whitaker says she's glad to see so many organizations stepping in to help the people of Kentucky, and AARP is happy to be one of the many hands reaching out to get people back on their feet.
Well, still watching plenty of blue sky out there this evening as we remain on the toasty side around the region. A look outside, according to, or at least out toward Mount Vernon along Interstate 75. It is dry outside, not even a cloud to be seen, and that has helped boost those temperatures big time out there. Middle and upper 80s outside for daytime highs today. Somerset's been the big winner so far, if you want to call them that. They got to 90 a little bit earlier. The temperature's starting to fall now that we're slowly setting that sun. We're about an hour and a half away from sunset. Low 60s, upper 50s for dew points. So when you walk outside, at least it won't be too muggy. I mean, you'll feel it, but it's not exactly air you can wear. Dry on pinpoint Doppler, and putting satellite and radar in motion, you see the same as we head out there through the evening hours. So as we run into tonight, things will be on the cooler side. Low 60s, calm, just a little bit of patchy fog. But we do have an increase in the fall weather on the way. Those details coming up in a few minutes. Steve?
Right, Evan, thanks. Following the flooding in late July, one school in Letcher County was heavily damaged, but students have just returned to the classrooms this week. WYMT's Jordan Mullins has more from Burdine Elementary, where school officials told us about the extent of the damage and just how excited students, faculty, and staff were to be back in school again.
In late July, floodwaters ravaged many small towns, homes, businesses, and even schools throughout the region. In Letcher County, Burdine Elementary received heavy damage.
We had to remove all the flooring in the building. We had to remove all the mastic glue that was under the flooring. And so it's been a real challenge to get all that done in order to get our students back in school.
But despite the damage, students were back in classrooms on Monday. But things looked a bit different. No floors, no playground, and for some preschool students, no classroom.
Our playground was destroyed. Preschool was completely decimated. There's nothing left. Our fence is gone, so we can't even take our kids outside to play a game of dodgeball or anything like that right now.
But students, faculty, and staff are quick to overlook the blemishes and are thankful to be back together again, even if it means in a different building.
But once you put babies back inside and smiling staff that's ready to teach and students that are ready to learn, I barely notice the floors, but we're going to build back better.
And officials see this as an opportunity.
We're going to have a better facility. We're going to have a new preschool room. We're going to have new floors throughout this building. We're going to have a new playground as an end result of this, and it's an opportunity for us to build back better.
To provide the best of the best for students in the district. In Letcher County, Jordan Mullins, WYMT Mountain News.
Superintendent Damian Johnson and Principal Amanda Anderson both added that they and their families all attended Burdine Elementary, so making the school look as beautiful as ever is also a personal endeavor for all involved. The school year is well underway for most, but many Kentucky districts are still hiring classroom teachers. Kentucky lawmakers were told of a program in Tennessee that they're using to start training and even paying teachers while they're still students. It's a learn and earn program, and it's being called a game changer in student teaching, and it is an option Kentucky lawmakers could explore to help solve the shortage here.
Which really kind of shifts the preparation for teaching from an unpaid, clinical observation and student teaching experience to more of a paid internship or apprenticeship experience.
Officials with the apprenticeship program say trainees would receive pay increases as they gain higher skill levels. They would also receive national certification. Today, Governor Andy Beshear visited the mountains once again to announce infrastructure improvements in Bell and Harlan counties. The governor was at Kingdom Come State Park. Look at that gorgeous background. He announced funding for road improvements in 2 counties. The governor also announced $200,000 will go towards 6 new cabins at Kingdom Come State Park.
With everything that Kentucky and Eastern Kentucky have dealt with these last 2.5 years, from pandemics to floods to inflation, days like today are good days, and we deserve a lot of good days.
More project funding announced by the governor included nearly $250,000 for infrastructure projects in both Bell and Harlan counties, and they will be included. The money will be used for projects including these listed there: $34,000 for the Wormer Industrial Park road resurfacing, $195,000 for the Pine Mountain State Park Sawmill Hollow water line, and about $10,500 for East Clover Street and South William Street resurfacing. We'll have more on the governor's visit later tonight at 11 o'clock. You can also find more details about all those projects on our website at WYMT.com. Well, the deadline to register to vote looms, and the opportunity will close exactly 3 weeks from today. Different organizations were out and about trying to help community members get ready for their civic duty by sharing information about how you can register to vote. Matthew Williams is the vice president of the Lexington and Fayette chapter of the NAACP. They stood outside the county courthouse today to help get more voters registered and help educate others about the process.
And we're really just trying to bring the voice back to the people, right? That's what voting is all about.
He says this particular election is vital in Lexington because of the opportunity to make changes to city council leadership and potentially see more diversity.
Well, coming up, break out the candles and make a pot of chili. Just don't do it tomorrow. The latest on nicer weather moving in on the way. Plus,
parole or not to parole? That's the question that's still up in the air after a Kentucky school shooter's parole hearing. And a London firefighter has put out fires for more than a decade, but recently the hoses were pointed towards the blaze consuming his home.